Belgrave Harriers are chasing a hat-trick of wins in the GRE Gold Cup. They did the League and Cup double last year. They're the team to beat today. The women of Birchfield Harriers defend the Jubilee Cup. They're very much a cup team, led by that excellent all-rounder, Clover Court. Sally Gunnell, Olympic champion, world champion and world record holder. Her task, to collect the points for Essex ladies. Tony Jarrett, silver medalist in Stuttgart, learned his craft at Harringay. His aim is to take the cup back to North London. The Don Valley Stadium stages the club's cup final, a very impressive arena, and conditions at the start of the day, they're pretty good. Hello, welcome to Sheffield. Over 300 clubs trying to get here today. It really is a great opportunity for unknown athletes to pit their skills against great performers like Regis, Gunnell and Jarrett. Let's just take a check on the 8 clubs who have made it. First of all, the men in the Gold Cup. Belgrave, Birchfield, Cardiff making their tremendous performance, really, the first 4th Division club to reach the final. Edinburgh, Harringay, they've won the cup 8 times. Shaftesbury Barnet, Thames Valley Harriers and Woodford Green. And the women in the Jubilee Cup, Birchfield, Bromley Ladies, Croydon, Edinburgh Woolham Mill, Essex Ladies, winners 6 times, always very strong in the cup. Sale Harriers from Manchester hoping for a first win. Shaftesbury Barnet, could they be the dark horses? And Trafford, who've never missed a final. The scoring system, 9 points for a win, 7 for second place, down to 1 point for finishing 8th. First event on the track is the men's 400-metre hurdles, a very familiar figure in this one. It's Max Robertson, and he'll be watched by our commentary team of Peter Matthews, Steve Ovett and Alan Parry.
Gary Cadogan is the man likely to take over from the now retired Chris Akabusi as Britain's #1 in the 400 metres hurdles, and he could bring home some very valuable points for his club Harringay here in the event. The full lineup is Gary Telfer of Thames Valley Harriers, Nigel Gardner of Woodford Green, then Cadogan, lane 3, Paul Hibbert of Birchfield, the Midland champion in 4, Andy Douglas from Edinburgh in lane 5, Greg Dunson, Shaftesbury Barnet in lane 6, Marvin Gray of Cardiff in 7, and Max Robertson, the former Great Britain #1, completes the lineup out there in lane 8, now wearing the colours of Belgrave Harriers. Former Commonwealth silver medalist, and he's gone off well here, Robertson. Certainly our #1 until Akabusi came onto the scene, and 5 times 3A's champion. Robertson running blind in that outside lane. Cadogan running well now. The man who only took up the sport earlier this year, but reached the semi-finals of the World Championships in Stuttgart. And Cadogan will have a clear lead when they come into the home straight, with Robertson also clear in second place at the moment. A little bit of a stumble and a stutter there for Cadogan. He made a terrible mess of the penultimate hurdle, but it hasn't really made a difference to his winning margin over Max Robertson, who was just beaten, in fact, on the line by Paul Hibbert of Birchfield for second place. 50.78. Well, he's still obviously trying to perfect the technique of this new event, Cadogan. And we saw that with spectacular effect 2 hurdles from home, and he made a terrible mess of the 9th, but got away with it.
Well, you can see that Gary really needs to concentrate on his endurance during the winter months. Last Sunday we saw him failing badly at this hurdle when Chris Akabusi was in the race, and you saw it again there. He stutters a bit, loses a bit of form, but manages, obviously, because of the vast lead he's got, to win the race in the end, but he won't be happy with that. Max Robertson on the outside for Belgrave fades a little bit, but that's not surprising. Max not really into international form, and Paul Hibbert of Birchfield takes the silver medal.
The field event started as usual with the hammer, and Shane Peacock of Birchfield was the clear favourite. He soon justified that status with taking the lead in the second round at 64 metres, moved up to 67.46, and here in the 6th and final round he threw his best of the day, 67 metres 76. And that gave him a clear margin of victory over the Australian Phil Spivey, throwing for Belgrave, who did 63.06, and Chris Howe of Woodford Green, 60.60. Harringay lost points here, as their man was only in 6th place. So we move on to the long jump, and Fred Sowell of Belgrave Harriers was Britain's 1 representative in the World Championships. Here he only had a narrow victory, but his 7 metres 41 was just enough. Behind him, John Munro of Thames Valley and Stuart Phillips of Birchfield both did 7 metres 33. So So we look again at Fred Sowell, who's had a long season, a good season. He's confirmed his status as Britain's #1, and as befits such a ranking, he won here in the GRE Gold Cup. Good points for Belgrave. Well, we start the Women's Cup competition with the 400-metre hurdles, and Essex ladies, 6 times champions in the Cup, will be looking for maximum points from Jackie Parker. From the inside, it's the Irish international Olive Burke of Croydon, then Stephanie McPeak of Shaftesbury Barnet, second in the Southern, Karen Spackman of Bromley, Julie Rogers of Birchfield, who was third in the Midland Championships, Louise Gregory of Sale, Joanne Cadman of Edinburgh, second in the Midlands, Jackie Parker then, and Veronica Bowden of Trafford, the 34, the oldest in the field, and a British international first in 1977, and still in good form, with a personal best of 58.8. So Jackie Parker then going in lane 7. Personal best of 56.15 makes her much the fastest in the field. Women's 3A's champion this year. She won the GRE Cup final in 1992 as well. And then Veronica Bowden of Trafford on the outside lane. Last year's winners, Birchfield, have Julie Rogers going in lane 4, and she also will be expected to place well. It'll be quite close, I think, behind Jackie Parker. Parker already into her running well. Going to is Julie Rogers of Birchfield. She's perhaps in second place at the moment. Olive Burke of Croydon on the inside has eaten up the stagger on Stephanie McPeak outside. And Bowden of Trafford certainly going very well outside, although Jackie Parker has gone past her. Bowden is doing well to be hanging on. So Parker in the lead. Now as they rise to second, Bowden is still in second place. Olive Burke on the inside, and also Rogers of Birchfield in lane 4. But Jackie Parker in the blue vest of Essex Ladies is coming home to win this event well. Of course, Essex Ladies number Sally Gunnell amongst their number, but Gunnell will be concentrating on the 100-metre hurdles today, quite content to leave this event to Jackie Parker. Parker can afford to look round coming into the last hurdle. She's got this by a very clear margin, and it's close for second place, but Veronica Bowden of Trafford takes second, Olive Burke of Croydon gets third, and then Julie Rogers of Birchfield in fourth place, and the winning time for Parker, 58.26.
Favourite for the women's 100 metres is Paula Thomas, who was ranked #1 in the United Kingdom in the late 1980s and ran on our relay team in the World Championships. Amongst the opposition here, Geraldine McLeod from Birchfield Harriers, another who was in our relay team in Stuttgart, although she didn't actually make it onto the track. The full lineup is McLeod, Birchfield, Alison Thompson of Sale, Eileen McGillivray, the Scottish champion from Edinburgh, Sharon Williams, Essex Ladies, Jackie Adjupong, Shaftesbury Barnet, Donna Fraser of Croydon, Paula Thomas, Trafford, and Joyce Maduaka of Bromley. Good first-time start, and an excellent start there by McGillivray, third from the right, the Scottish girl running for Edinburgh. Thomas coming through now, though, second from the left, and it's between those two, and Thomas wins it. McGillivray second, McLeod third, 11.67 the winning time. Good points there for Paula Thomas and Trafford, and they're probably better known to most athletics fans as Stretford, the name by which they had in the 1980s when they really dominated the Women's Jubilee Cup with 7 wins.
Good start from Paula Thomas, second from our left here. She's a short lady and she got away very fast, and she's beaten McLeod twice already in the major championships this year, the UK's and the 3A's championships, so one would expect that she'd get maximum points here. But it's quite close up until now, and it's only at this point really that Paula starts moving away. And you can see here that McGillivray just takes the silver medal and McLeod gets the bronze.
Shelley Holroyd of Sale Harriers was Britain's one representative in the World Championships. She'd won the 3A's title at 60 metres 10. Here she found throws in the mid-50s enough to win, and her best performance was 54 metres 82. Jo Jennings again, Britain's one representative in the World Championships, and thus a clear favourite to win the high jump. Competes for Essex Ladies. Here she clears 1.74, and she went on to a best of 1.82.
Darren Braithwaite was a member of Britain's silver medal winning team in the World Championships in Stuttgart, although he didn't actually run in the final. He competed in the heats and semi-finals and also won a bronze medal in the 1991 championships. He should win this men's 100 metres for his club Harriers. He runs in lane 4 in this lineup. Lenny Paul from Belgrave, Courtney Rumbold, Shaftesbury Barnet, Jamie Henderson from Edinburgh, former European junior champion. Braithwaite then in 4. Sanusi Toure runs for Thames Valley Harriers as a replacement for Lenford Christie, the Sierra Leone international, in 5. Kevin Williams, the Welsh champion from Cardiff, in 6. John Kenny from Woodford Green in 7. And Curtis Brown from Birchfield Harriers, replacing their number 1, Michael Rosswest, who's running for England. He completes the lineup in lane 8. Didn't make the best start there, Braithwaite, but he's coming into his running now, right in the middle, picked up brilliantly there. Williams of Cardiff going well, and on the inside, Lenny Paul, but it's an easy win in the end for the favourite, Darren Braithwaite, with Kenny of Woodford taking 2nd place, just ahead of Lenny Paul, I think, on the inside, who got 3rd. 10.50 the winning time for Darren Braithwaite, and Harringay piling up the points already.
That's right, it's 9 for a win, 7 points for 2nd and 6 for 3rd and so on down. So it's important that you get the victories in this event, because the 2-point differential, they can mean all the difference towards the end of the competition. And Braithwaite made no mistake about this one. He tore away from the field over the last 30 metres or so. And it's a bit of a scrabble for the 2nd place. I thought that Williams may have just got it from Cardiff, but Kenny was up there. No, I was wrong. I think that Kenny got that from Woodford, with Williams of Cardiff taking the bronze medal position.
Women's 800 metres lines up from the inside. Lisa Thompson of Bromley, Sue Bevan for Essex Ladies, Colette Kaufman for Shaftesbury Barnet, Julie Askill for Trafford, Alison Parry for Croydon, Rachel Jordan for Birchfield, Hazel Edgar for Edinburgh, and Joanne Latimer of Sale. And the latter will be the favourite, the Northern Ireland record holder this year at 2 minutes 3.65. Several internationals in this lineup. Dr. Sue Bevan of Essex Ladies in lane 2 there, former UK bronze medalist. And she has the fastest personal best of these runners, 2 minutes 1.93. But Latimer's made a big breakthrough this year, ran 5th in the World Student Games, and already she's coming across the track wearing number 6 and is prominent just behind Bevan. On the outside, number 3, Alison Parry, twice Welsh champion, just beginning to recapture some of the form, which took her to a best of 2 minutes 3.88 last year. Also, notice just behind Colette Kaufman, who's 4th. In 5th place, Julie Askill, wearing number 8 for Trafford, who's been an ever-present for her club for some 20 years and has competed in all these cup finals. British representative in the past at 3,000 metres, and now an assistant team manager for the juniors, and still running well at senior level. So very close indeed between Bevan and Latimer as they come up to take the bell after a very slow first lap in 65.1.
It's actually good to see some good club competition where there's no pacemakers and nobody interfering with the rhythm of the race. A 65 first lap for the girls isn't that fast, but it means that they're all together there, and when you consider that it's fighting for points, it gives all the girls a chance over this last lap to get out and do their best. So it's nice to see a good competitive race.
So it's Bevan and Latimer in that order. In 3rd place, Alison Parry. In 4th is Julie Askill. 5th is Kaufman, just being passed now. But up front, it's still between the 2, Bevan and Latimer, 1:36 at 600 metres. The pace is increasing a little bit. Doing her best to hold on is Alison Parry for Croydon. But it's Sale and Essex Ladies. Essex Ladies already with a victory on the track with Jackie Park in the 400 metres, but they're not going to win this one, I don't think, as Joanne Latimer comes. But look at the finish coming here from Alison Parry. But Joanne Latimer of Sale is going to hold on to win it, just from Alison Parry of Cardiff on the line, with Sue Bevan 3rd, Julie Askill getting good points for Trafford in 4th place. So very close finish there, but Latimer just holding on. The winning time 2 minutes 8.47, so a much faster second half than first half.
Preciously close at the end there. Latimer really was taking it very casually over the line, and that's not a good thing to do in athletics. As you see here, Alison Parry of Croydon is coming through strong. She's in 2nd place at the moment, and Sue Bevan of Essex Ladies fading there into 3rd. But watch the finish here. You see Latimer ease down just a few strides before the line, and Parry comes with a vengeance. Look at that. That's preciously close, isn't it?
Well, after that tremendous finish, I wonder if we're in for such a close shave at the end of this men's 800 metres. The full lineup here is Ian Gillespie of Birchfield, Tony Bignell from Haringey, Vincent Rose, Thames Valley Harriers, Tony Balogan from Woodford, Paul Roberts, Cardiff, Dave Scott of Belgrave, Philip Mowbray, Edinburgh, and Nick Smith of Shaftesbury Barnet, a former United Kingdom champion, and on paper the fastest in the field with a best ever of 1:47.71. He's the athlete in the stripes, right on the outside there, running, as I say, for Shaftesbury. They've been in 14 finals in this men's Gold Cup and have 2 victories to their name. And he is gone right out to the front, also sharing the lead, the Haringey athlete, the Surrey champion Tony Bignell there, number 5. Belgrave's Dave Scott into 3rd place, and then in the blue vest of the Cardiff Athletics Club, Paul Roberts.
And we just got the results of that very close finish in the women's race, and Joanne Latimer did win 2:08.48, just 1/100th of a second ahead of Alison Parry.
And certainly at the moment, this men's 800 metres, which reaches the bell in just a shade over a minute, is also promising to provide a very competitive finish, because as you can see, all 8 still fairly close together, but now as the Haringey man Tony Bignell stretches them down the back straight, they are beginning to string out a little, but nobody has really lost touch. Paul Roberts of Cardiff right at the back of the field, but even he within a few strides of the leader, and moving through in fact now as Tony Balogan from Woodford, the Middlesex champion of the last 2 years, and 3rd in the Southern Championships, takes the lead. In fact, Roberts, who was right at the back of the 200-metre mark, is now right at the front again. So a tremendous break by the Welshman, who set 4 personal bests this year and is promising to run the legs off the rest here in the finish. If he doesn't tie up, he is tying up, and on the inside, Bignell of Haringey almost got to the line, but Roberts held on to win it from Bignell in 1:53.59. A good race, that. Well, that really was an exciting finish. Not quite as close as the women's version, but it all happened there over the final 200 metres, Steve.
Good race. I mean, you don't have to have fast races for good competition. This was a good race. You saw there Paul Roberts of Cardiff. He was, as you say, Alan, at the 200-metre mark, was way off the back there, but look at the way he came through here. Threw the gauntlet down to, I suppose, much more experienced and more competitive runners this season, and took advantage of that gap coming off the bend and held on well coming down the home straight. You can see he's working really hard. There's not much left in the tank there, I don't think, but that margin of distance between him and the other runners is a safe cushion coming into the last 50 or so metres. Pumping hard to the line. Just on the inside there, you see the runners coming through. Bignell closing at the end, but not enough. He gets the silver for Haringey. That's good points for him. And towards the end there, Smith, I think, from Shaftesbury, all important points for 3rd spot.
The Scot Darren Morris, competing for Belgrave Harriers, was the favourite in the discus, and he had a very consistent series. His winning throw of 54.96 came in the 2nd round. This final throw also over 53 metres, and he won from Brown of Birchfield. In the 10,000 metres, Kasset Tadisa, the young Ethiopian who sought sanctuary in Britain and now runs for Belgrave, broke away with 4 laps to go and won from Andy Simmons of Birchfield and Mark Goddard of Shaftesbury Barnet Harriers in 3rd place. So very good points there for Belgrave Harriers. Haringey's Steve Harris was last.
Let's just look at the state of play then. 7 of the 20 events completed in the GRE Gold Cup. Belgrave 6 points clear on 49, followed by Birchfield and Haringey right up there in 3rd. And the women, 6 of the 15 events completed, and look at that, Essex ladies 7 points clear on 38 points, and a 3-way tie for 2nd place involving Sale, Trafford and Birchfield. And of course Sally Gunnell still to do her stuff for Essex ladies, but when you rejoin us here on 4 in Sheffield, we're going to be looking at Tony Jarrett, silver medalist in the World Championships, doing his stuff for Haringey. See you for that.
Well, welcome back to a sun-drenched Don Valley Stadium here in Sheffield. They've let me out of the box for once. That's nice of them. And I'm down at trackside, and it's just about to be the start of the 110 metres hurdles. in which Tony Jarrett, the silver medalist in the World Championships, is taking part for Haringey. What a daunting prospect for the other competitors.
Tony Jarrett, the world silver medalist in the 110 metres hurdles, looking smiling and relaxed at the start of this race, and well, he ought to, because he's obviously number 2 in the world. He holds silver medals in that championship, the Europeans and the Commonwealth Games. The full lineup here is Paul Gray, Cardiff, Ayrton Harrison, Thames Valley, Martin Nicholson from Birchfield, Belgrave's Neil Owen, Lloyd Cowan. This time they are away. Good start there made by Lloyd Cowan, but Jarrett is already ahead of the rest of the field. He leads Tom, the Shaftesbury man at the moment, and he can afford to relax because victory is safe already. He wins it for Haringey. Cowan in second place, and Owen of Belgrave third. 13.83, time immaterial today. That's 3 out of 4 track wins now for Haringey, but just to underline how important it is to pick up the minor places as well in this competition, they're still some considerable way behind Belgrave on the points table.
Well, I don't think Tony Jarrett stopped laughing from the moment he got to his blocks to the end of the race there. He really enjoyed himself, I think, and it's nice to see the athletes come out here today that have been competing in the World Championships and really take this light-heartedly and just get on with the job of getting the points for the club. Tony here started easing down, I think, over the 8th hurdle, and Cowan just behind him had a great race, really, for the second spot. No one taking third, but very casual performance and a good run from Tony. That's the back view of Tony, which most of the athletes got in this particular race. He's a great club man and also obviously a world-renowned athlete in his own right. But club athletics is all about enjoying yourself, and it's a lovely day here at Sheffield, and Tony, I think, is going to be in this event and probably some of the relays as well, so he's had a good start to the day today.
Well, it's all a long way from a packed stadium in Stuttgart, a gold medal and a world record, but club athletics has always been very important to Sally Gunnell, and nowhere was her world record performance and world championship winning race cheered more loudly than in the clubhouse of Essex Ladies, where she's very, very popular and really supports the club at every opportunity. She runs here in lane 3 in the 100 metres hurdles, where she, of course, was former UK number 1 before stepping up to the longer race. And she faces a reasonable field here. Jackie Ajapong from Shaftesbury, semi-finalist in the World Championships and United Kingdom champion, and also second to Sally Gunnell in the women's 3As this year. Leslie Ann Skeet from Trafford, a former UK number 1. Then Gunnell, Essex Ladies in lane 3. Jenny Kelly from Bromley in 4. Joanne Cadman, Edinburgh 5. Louise Gregory Sale in 6. Sam Parkinson from Croydon, the Southern champion, in lane 7. Clover Court from Birchfield, our number 1 heptathlete, in lane 8. Sally Gunnell still holds the United Kingdom record for this event, 12.82, and has held it for the last 5 years. And she doesn't run this very often now. In fact, I think this is only the second time in the last 2 summers that she has done so. And in both occasions, it was in the 3A's championships, and both times she was a winner. Had a good start there. Third from the right, Sally Gunnell, already leading on this near side. Parkinson and Clover Court having a real battle, and Ajipong on the inside, nearest to us. It's going to be Clover Court, but she then hits the final hurdle, and Sally Gunnell just nips it from Ajipong on the line in 13.20. Court was in a marvellous position there until she struck the final hurdle, and that really destroyed her prospects of causing an upset. Well, you've got to keep your eyes here on lanes 3 and 8.
Well, I think that it was fairly even going into that. I think Parkinson there, second from our left, was well up at the same time that Sally and Clover Court were running well. But you can see really that Sally isn't pulling away from these girls. I think she's obviously slowed down a little bit. We're running all the 400 metres hurdles, but on the inside there, Ajipong going very well at the moment. Clover Court caught that one terribly, second to last, destroyed her chances at the end of getting anywhere near Sally. Sally a clear victory from Ajipong in second, from I think obviously Clover Court just managing to hang on for that third spot. You can see here from the back picture that Sally was away well. Technically, there's nothing wrong with Sally's hurdling. Because of her background at this particular discipline, it really has stood her in good stead when she runs the 400 metres hurdle. She doesn't make a fault. Look at this. And that's the sort of thing that she brings to bear in the 400 metres hurdles. Technically, she doesn't make a mistake, and it's the mistakes that lose races in 400 metres hurdles. That's why Sally keeps winning.
Paula Cohen runs in lane 5 for Trafford in the 400 metres. The winner of the European Under-23 Cup at 200 metres last year. She's a fine prospect at this longer event. The full lineup from the inside: Paula Fryer of Sale, Trish Devine, Edinburgh, Pauline Richards, Birchfield, Alison Parry of Croydon, who's already second in the 800 metres, then Cohen, then Suzette Denny of Shaftesbury Barnet, Catherine Catchpole of Bromley, and Vicky Day of Essex, who was second in the Southern Championships. Paula Fryer running the inside, former UK and 3A's champion at the 800 metres. A slightly disappointing season this year. Did not make the World Championship team. And Cohen already going off very well indeed. She's eaten up the stagger on Denny outside her in the black vest of Birchfield. Pauline Richards also is in good form, and Trish Devine of Edinburgh in lane 2. So probably Cohen and Richards and Devine, the leading three as they reach the 200 metre mark. This is Paula Cohen, around 54.4 in the GRE semi-final, and that matches her best, and she's coming round the turn in fine style with Richards of Birchfield in second place. And then Trish Devine, but Cohen has got a big lead here, and can the 200 metre runner hold on at this longer distance, which she's not so used to? Certainly Devine of Edinburgh is cutting her back, but it's Cohen holding on. Devine in second place, then quite a big gap to Richards, and Cohen wins it in a good time of 54.71. In second place is Devine, in third is Richards, and then it was quite close for the fourth spot. Well, that's a good run there, and good points, of course, for Trafford.
Belgrave are leading Haringey on the points table at the moment, and they're hoping for more points here from Dwayne Ledejo in this men's 400 metres. The World Championship semi-finalist is in lane 3 in this lineup. David Mackenzie, Shaftesbury in 1. Chris Creeves, Edinburgh in 2. Then Ledejo running for Belgrave in lane 3. Jamie Balch of Cardiff in 4. Simon Chiaravella from Woodfield in lane 5. Kermit Bentham, Thames Valley Harriers 6. Steve Thomas of Birchfield Harriers in lane 7. And in lane 8, we understand it's now Lawrence Lynch running for Haringey, not Wayne McDonald, as appears on the caption. Ledejo, the 22-year-old who's based in the United States at Texas University, has seen the man on his outside, the Cardiff athlete Jamie Balch, go off very strongly there. He was 4th in the World Junior Championship over 200 metres this year, so he might have a problem sustaining that kind of speed in the second half of the race, but he has gone off very impressively, I must say. Chiaravella of Woodford being overtaken by him now, and Balch has really thrown the challenge down here to Ledejo. But he's got to keep it going now. Mackenzie on the inside finishing fast as well, but it's still Jamie Balch. He's tying up inevitably, and Ledejo closing on him with every stride, but Balch holding on, and on the inside, Mackenzie, in fact, I think just nicked it on the line. So that was a fine run by the young man from Cardiff, and Dwayne Ledejo will be disappointed with his effort there, I think, in the end. And Jamie Balch absolutely gave everything to that race.
What a great race that was. I mean, we were expecting Ledejo really to dominate it, but Jamie Balch really threw down the gauntlet there with a blistering first 300 metres, hanging on for grim death on the last part of the race, with David Mackenzie coming through here on the inside. But he's dying, but he's hanging on there. Ledejo gets third, and Balch gets a good place for second there, and the winner just on the line, Mackenzie.
Well, Essex ladies stretched there. Got a big lead here, and can the 200 metre runner hold on at this longer distance, which she's not so used to? Certainly Devine of Edinburgh is cutting her back, but it's Cohen holding on. Devine in second place, then quite a big gap to Richards, and Cohen wins it in a good time of 54.71. In second place is Devine, in third is Richards, and then it was quite close for the fourth spot. Well, that's a good run there, and good points, of course, for Trafford.
Belgrave are leading Haringey on the points table at the moment, and they're hoping for more points here from Dwayne Ledejo in this men's 400 metres. The World Championship semi-finalist is in lane 3 in this lineup. David Mackenzie, Shaftesbury in 1. Chris Creeves, Edinburgh in 2. Then Ladejo running for Belgrave in lane 3. Jamie Balch of Cardiff in 4. Simon Chiaravella from Woodfield in lane 5. Kermit Bentham, Thames Valley Harriers 6. Steve Thomas of Birchfield Harriers in lane 7. And in lane 8, we understand it's now Lawrence Lynch running for Haringey, not Wayne McDonald as appears on the caption. Ladejo, the 22-year-old who's based in the United States at Texas University, has seen the man on his outside, the Cardiff athlete Jamie Balch, go up very strongly there. He was 4th in the World Junior Championships over 200 metres this year, so he might have a problem sustaining that kind of speed in the second half of the race, but he has gone off very impressively, I must say. Chiaravella of Woodford being overtaken by him now, and Balch has really thrown the challenge down here to Ladejo. But he's got to keep it going now. Mackenzie on the inside finishing fast as well, but it's still Jamie Balch. He's tying up inevitably, and Ladejo closing on him with every stride, but Balch holding on, and on the inside, Mackenzie, in fact, I think just nicked it on the line. Well, that was a fine run by the young man from Cardiff, and Dwayne Ladejo will be disappointed with his effort there, I think, in the end. And Jamie Balch absolutely gave everything to that race.
What a great race that was. I mean, we were expecting Ladejo really to dominate it, but Jamie Balch really threw down the gauntlet there with a blistering first 300 metres, hanging on for grim death down the last part of the race, with David Mackenzie coming through here on the inside. But he's dying, but he's hanging on there. Ladejo gets 3rd, and Balch gets a good place for 2nd there, and the winner just on the line, Mackenzie.
Well, Essex ladies stretch their lead, with Yinka Idowu jumping for them in the long jump. Far ahead of the rest of the opposition, 6:35 and 6:34, and then 6:43, with the 2nd place going to Denise Lewis of Birchfield at 6:08. Lewis, who was also 2nd in the high jump. The mighty figure of Britain's #1 shot putter, Paul Edwards of Belgrave, was a clear winner in the men's shot. 18 metres 77 was his best, and in 2nd place, Dave Calloway of Haringey at 16:50.
Halfway stage then in the Gold Cup, the men's competition, and Belgrave now just 3 points clear of Haringey, 62 to 59. Birchfield clinging on there in 3rd. And in the Jubilee Cup, well, Essex ladies running away with it at the moment, 9 clear of Birchfield, 66 points. Birchfield 57, 10 of the 15 events completed in the Jubilee Cup. And Steve Ovett will welcome you back very shortly with the climax of both competitions from us here in Sheffield.
Well, welcome back. The sun is still shining here in Sheffield, and one of the clubs here for the first time, Cardiff Athletic Club, 4th Division club, they've done well to get here, and relies upon men like Jamie Balch. Jamie, great performance in the 400 there, silver position, but you actually broke the Welsh record first time out.
That's right, yeah, I'm really pleased about that. You know, I didn't expect to run so well. Like I say, it's my first sort of run over 400 metres. I ran about 2 weeks ago in a 4x4, and I ran quite a good relay split there. So today they decided to put me in the 400, and I ran really well, so I'm really pleased.
That record actually was 26 years old, so it was actually broken the last time before you were born.
Well, I didn't know that, but I'm really pleased about that. And also, I've done the qualifying for the Commonwealth Games now, which was 47.2, so it goes, I might be running 400 instead of my usual 200 from now on.
Well, great performance, Jamie, and congratulations for the team anyway. Well done, and now we go over to the men's 200 metres.
Thanks, Steve. No Linford Christie in the Thames Valley Harriers lineup today, but they've got a very good man in the 200 metres, Addy Maffey. And always remembered, of course, for reaching the Olympic final in this event when he was only 17, way back in 1984 in Los Angeles. Got lane 8 here. Duncan Matheson of Edinburgh is on the inside. Then John Bowen of Cardiff. John Kenny from Woodford, the Inter-Counties champion in 3. Lloyd Cowan of Shaftesbury Barnet, already runner-up in the 110 hurdles. Good run by him then. Ben Grant of Haringey in lane 5. Adrian Bryan for Birchfield in 6. Lenny Paul runs for Belgrave. 4th in the 100 metres earlier in lane 7. And then Maffey. He's got to go out hard here, Maffey. And Lenny Paul has already taken a little bit out of him there on the first few strides. And right in the middle, Ben Grant of Haringey running very well, second in the Southern Championships this year. John Kenny of Woodford going well in the green hoops, but here comes Maffey now nearest to the camera, and Maffey it is who wins it from the Haringey man. Ben Grant in second place with Kenny of Woodford third. 21:15 the winning time. Big smile for Adi Maffey, a quarter-finalist in the World Championships earlier this summer in his new event, the 400 metres, but proving he still remembers how the shorter sprint goes.
Well, this is quite a well-judged race by Maffey, really. Grant in the middle there was probably in the lead at this point. Inside him were Kenny and Lloyd Cowan. But now Maffey, running very smoothly, comes through to take the race quite comfortably, really. He only had something like a metre, but really he was in charge of this race, I thought, all the way through. Grant in second place, and then third Kenny and fourth Cowan. First Thames Valley Harrier win of the day. Paula Thomas has already won the 100 metres this afternoon. Now she bids for the double by running in the 200 metres. This is her first major race at this distance this year. Well, she runs in lane 3, and she'll have quite a battle, I'm sure, with Eileen McGillivray of Edinburgh, who runs in the inside. Britain's second fastest this year with a best of 23.29. Then Donna Fraser of Croydon, 6 times English schools winner. Then Thomas. Then Alison Thompson for Sale. Sharon Williams for Essex. Donna Bannister, the Kent champion for Bromley. Clover Court for Birchfield, who's already run in the 100-metre hurdles and also placed second in the javelin today. And Catherine Murphy of Shaftesbury Barnet, the 17-year-old who made her international debut this last indoor season. So the favourites then, McGillivray running in lane 1, Paula Thomas running in 3, and probably next best will be Donna Fraser in 2, Clover Court in 7, and Catherine Murphy here, nearest the camera, for Shaftesbury Barnet. Paula Thomas, of course, has given great service to her club, formerly Stretford, now Trafford, over the years. Scored many points in these GRE events. She's off well, but so too is McGillivray, probably fastest off of all, and also Sharon Williams of Essex in lane 5, and Clover Court for Birchfield as they come into the straight. It's McGillivray in the lead. Thomas is well back. It's McGillivray from Fraser. Those two, and Thomas is closing quite fast now, but Eileen McGillivray has hold on to just win. Thomas came through very fast to take second, with Donna Fraser third and Clover Court fourth, and a good time there of 23.66. Well, McGillivray's fast start and fine work round the turn, Steve, I think gave her the victory there.
Definitely, that was a superb bend, especially from lane 1 as well. Tight to hold that inside lane, but McGillivray really was, I suppose, 4 or 5 yards clear here of Paula Thomas. But Thomas was finishing fast, and momentum really carried her past Fraser here of Croydon. But McGillivray, that bend must have been superb, because really she gained that 5 yards, and even though Thomas came in first, it was a clear victory in the end.
No one really prepared to show their hand here in the 1500 metres with 2 laps to go. Occupying the first 3 lanes of the track almost. Robert Howell of Birchfield Harriers, who's also a New Zealand international, marginally has the lead on the Belgrave man, Robert Turner. Very slow time there, as you can see. But now it might quicken up a little bit as Stewart, the Scottish champion, Glenn Stewart from Edinburgh, suddenly injects some pace, some much-needed pace in this race. Although, of course, we have to keep stressing that times are absolutely irrelevant here. It's all about positions and, therefore, points. Stewart has livened it up, and he's taken with him Simon Fairbrother, the Haringey athlete, a good runner, runner-up in the United Kingdom Championships this year, and a former winner of that crown, and third place in the World Cup competition last year. Stewart leads then at the moment from Howell of Birchfield, with Fairbrother in third place. They reached the bell in 3 minutes, 5.72. And hardly anyone's really been shaken off, just the Shaftesbury Barnet man, in fact, at the back of the field. So 7 still in contention as they go into the back straight for the final time.
Quite a change in pace there.
Yeah. That's a real injection of pace. And it continues now into the final 200 metres with Simon Fairbrother, who has a best ever of 3:38 and is certainly one of our promising men for the future. His mid-20s now, takes over the lead from Stewart. And Stewart's not finished yet, the Scottish champion. He comes back at Fairbrother. Huge support from their teammates in the stand, and Stewart's got in front of Fairbrother here with a very fast finish by Larry Mangleshot of Woodford to take third place. Stewart the winner then, Fairbrother second, Mangleshot third, just a shade over 4 minutes.
Britain's top 2 pole vaulters were in action today. For Shaftesbury Barnet, Neil Winter managed 5 metres, but Mike Edwards of Belgrave went over 5 metres 20 on his first attempt, and that proved to be the winning height. The high jump, Dalton Grant of Haringey was back in good form. Here he clears 2 metres 25 on his first attempt, and delighted about that. He went on to set a new cup record at 2:32 and even tried the British record at 2:38 and was close. Good points also for Haringey in the javelin from Mark Roberson. He opened up with a comparatively modest throw, this one just over 66 metres, but he went on in round 2 to throw 71 metres 14, and that gave him a good margin of victory as Stephen Baldwin of Thames Valley Harriers was in second place at 66 metres 94. So excellent points there for Haringey. Good points also came in the triple jump, where Tosi Fasenro, who was the World Student Games champion and has a best performance this year of over 17 metres, was the favourite, had a good consistent series in the event. This was his best jump, the third round, 15 metres 87. So he was in the lead for most of the competition, and indeed that lead held up right till the very last jump. But Francis Agyapong of Shaftesbury Barnet Harriers, who had competed with Fasenro in the World Championships, lying back at 15 metres 65, and in fact in third place at that point, John Mackenzie of Belgrave had done 15.68. But Agyapong really got it right just at the end, and this jump was to prove the winning one. So Francis Agyapong can be well pleased with that. Let's just look again at the replay, and we look at the inset here of him hitting the board absolutely spot on. Another centimetre and he would have been into that green plasticine layer, but as it is, he went out, and 15 metres 89 gave him a 2 centimetre margin of victory over Fasenro. So that's the points there for Shaftesbury Barnet over Haringey.
Well, going into the 2 relays, 4x100 and 4x400, it's a very close situation in the men's match, the Gold Cup, between Haringey and Belgrave. So all could well depend on these 2 races. We begin with the 4x1 and Darren Braithwaite leading off for Haringey. There's the full lineup from the inside. Haringey and Belgrave Harriers, the 2 combatants for the title in lanes 1 and 2. Shaftesbury in 3, then Edinburgh Southern in lane 4, Birchfield go in 5, Woodford Green in 6, Thames Valley Harriers in 7, and Cardiff in the outside lane. Lenny Paul, lead-off man for Belgrave here. Michael Morgan on the second leg, Fred Sal the third, Neil Owen the anchor leg. Haringey have Braithwaite, who we've seen there in the background. Tony Jarrett on the second leg, Ben Grant on the third, and Sonny Adapegbar the anchor leg for them. So both have strong teams here. Watch out too for Cardiff in lane 8 with Jamie Balch, who ran so well earlier in the 400 metres, running the second leg for them. Only a handful of points between Haringey and Belgrave at the moment, so really they're racing each other here. Jamie Balch taking over there for Cardiff in the outside, and Cardiff running exceptionally well too, and Balch is going to make sure they maintain that position. On the inside there, Haringey lane 1, slightly down at the moment perhaps, but catching up now, and they will come off the bend here into the anchor leg with the lead, and it's a big lead too at this stage. They've really pushed away. Edinburgh Southern in the middle in second place, Cardiff on the outside third. That's excellent points for Haringey, and that's really going to do their cause a lot of good. Indeed, it might well be enough now to clinch the Gold Cup for the North London club.
The performances of the Essex ladies team have assured them a victory in the Jubilee Cup even before the relays. And going into the last event, they have 90 points, 16 ahead of Birchfield Harriers, then Trafford and Edinburgh Woolen Mill in close contention, 69 and 68. Well, here is that last event, the 4x400 metres. which we pick up on the third leg, with Trafford bidding to secure third place, well in the lead here. Di Harris will pass on to Veronica Bowden, who was in second place in the 400-metre hurdles. Then Sale. Oh, well, they took a bad change over there coming into the third leg here, just behind Edinburgh. So that just shows what baton changing can do, and a big gap lost there. But it's Trafford with Veronica Bowden running the third leg. Trafford had a good start from Sue Briggs, then Di Harris ran the second leg. Veronica Bowden now here running the third. Making up ground, Birchfield Harriers, with Denise Lewis running for them. That's number 1. Then behind her, Sale Harriers. And here we pick up the rest of the field. And here are Essex ladies. They're well out of contention in this particular race, but they are assured of victory. So it really doesn't matter where they finish. And they haven't needed to run their great star, of course, Sally Gunnell, in this particular event. So here we come now into the final handover. And Trafford, Veronica Bowden handing over to Paula Cohen, who won the individual event. Edinburgh in second place then, Emma Lindsay running for them, and then it's close between Birchfield and Sale for third and fourth places. Geraldine McLeod running for Birchfield in third place. But here is Paula Cohen, who's just moving up to this event, the 400 metres, and looked really good in the individual event, which she won in 54.69. Running hard, running on her own, assured of victory. Trafford won't, I think, be able to close the points differential on Birchfield, because Birchfield are in third place here. So Trafford running for victory, glory in the final event. Trafford, who have 7 wins in the GRE Jubilee Cup in their history. That's going to be equal today by Essex ladies. And here they come, Paula Cohen bringing Trafford in to a really good win in the relay. They'll finish third overall. Edinburgh, who will finish fourth, coming in second. Then Birchfield, who will finish second. And then we have Shaftesbury and Sale. And Essex ladies coming in now, the winners of the GRE Jubilee Cup.
Well, there's the position then after 19 events, and that lead of 126 points over 111 for Haringey ahead of Belgrave means that they must win the GRE Gold Cup. And so now this final leg of the 4x400 metres relay is simply an extended lap of honour for the Haringey team. They're down in fourth place, but of course it doesn't matter at all. And in any case, Belgrave are further back. So Haringey are on their way to victory here. Thames Valley Harriers leading at the moment with Andy Maffey running the anchor leg for them. Shaftesbury coming up strongly as well, with Birchfield in second place. David McKenzie running the anchor leg here for Shaftesbury. But it's the Haringey team being anchored home by Sunny Adipegba, who will win the GRE Gold Cup. It's a fine run here by Maffey to make sure that his team end on a winning note. Maffey wins it for Thames Valley Harriers, but it's Haringey who come home as winners, and that means the League and Cup double for the North London club, and their 9th success now in the Gold Cup, easily the best total in the competition's history. So they've reversed the positions of a year ago, and Belgrave, winners of the double in 1992, now runners-up in both League and Cup to Haringey.
And now Essex ladies celebrate their 7th win in the GRE Jubilee Cup, adding 1993 to each year from 1984 to 87, and also from 1990 and 1991. And now Haringey step up to receive the GRE Gold Cup. Their winning margin was less than we first thought, as their 4x400 metre relay team was disqualified, but they still had a clear margin and were triumphant today.
Well, great scenes of jubilation there, Tony, for your club, Haringey. Why have you done so well this season, a League and Cup double?
Well, I think, it was a team effort, and we came out today and, we knew we had a strong team, so, we all stuck together and helped out and did well.
Very different, though, for you. I'm here at the Don Valley compared to the World Championships, isn't it?
Oh, totally different. They had a better atmosphere in Stuttgart. So, but we had a lot of fans here, so they helped out quite a lot.
You're obviously very mindful of the fact that you've got to do it for your club, because that's where you learnt your trade, really.
Oh yeah, I always have to put something back to the club. It was been a bit hard because like, you know, how the season be so hectic. But, you know, I had to perform today and help them out.
I must ask you the question, how do you manage to cope living in the shadow of Colin Jackson? Because if it hadn't been for him, you'd be a world star by now.
Well, it's one of the things, really. You know, I'm unfortunate to have one of the greatest hurlers in the world. But, you know, in a way, I find it good because he gives somebody to chase, and I would try to push him onto good times, and he pushed me onto great times.
Right, just a few celebrations around White Hart Lane, though, after this, I would think.
Yeah, well, we celebrated for the world champs now. We're going to celebrate for the Harriers as well.
Tony, thanks indeed for joining us. Thank you very much
you.
indeed. So let me just confirm how it all finished here then at Sheffield. Harriers, the winners by 10 clear points, the 9th win, League and Cup double. They won 6 events, second in 5, third in 4, winning by 10 clear points. And Shaftesbury Barnet, the only other club to get over 100 points. And the women's, well, Essex ladies leading all the way, winning by 13 points. Jubilee Cup winners in 90, 91, and now 93. Essex ladies then the Cup specialists. Well, in just over 40 minutes' time, over on ITV, there's more athletics. The last meeting in our exclusive Golden Four series, the Ivo van Dam Memorial from Brussels. Some very big prizes on offer there as well, including 20 gold bars, 10:40 on ITV. Okay, and that wraps up our season here on 4. Thanks very much for watching. Our congratulations, of course, to the winners here today, to Harriers and to Essex ladies, and on behalf of everybody connected with the athletics team, bye-bye.